Right, welcome back. I know it's been a couple of months since my last project, which was the Ford Escort, but I've had a lot on since then. I've been doing some guarding statues. Work has gone absolutely manic with the new barcode system. There was nothing wrong with the old one, but you know. I've also been to Titanic Belfast, which I did in August, which you've probably seen the videos for that. And here's the next build. So, going over to my table, I've gone back to a Nerf gun. It's been what, 4 years since I've done the Kronos for the Lawgiver. It's time for the big one. My son bought me this last year for a part Father's Day, part birthday present, and it came a week after my birthday last year, because he'd had this on pre-order for over a year, and I think it was about 150 quid at the time. It's twice that now on eBay. I mean, the box art is worth price of admission alone, so you can probably already figure out what it's going to be. So lifting the lid, it is the Nerf Aliens Pulse Rifle from the James Cameron film Aliens. To be honest, it's my favourite Aliens film, Aliens. Absolutely love that film. So that went on the outside. It was like a cardboard sleeve. Folds out. And then that lifts off like that. And it takes 4 C batteries. And it powers the internal mechanism, also the cocking mechanism and the firing mechanism. There's also sound effects, and you get 99 bullets. You don't get 99 bullets, you only get 10 bullets in the mag. So if I pull that open, I've already preloaded the mag. So there's your instruction guide, which folds out. Here's your underneath rocket launcher with these 3 bullets, those popping inside the barrel there, and you cock it and fire it that way. So you get 3 of those. Just put those to one side. Get the one off the floor. And this thing is absolutely massive. I think it's 1-to-1 scale. So I'm just going to pause this a sec and I'll give you a better view. Right, so getting it out of its box, you can see it's 1-to-1. Comparing it to the Gears of War, I'll just put that down a minute. If I turn that up towards the Gears of War Lancer, so turning this up against the Gears of War Lancer, a bit shorter than the Lancer, but it ain't far off, so it is actually quite big compared to the Lancer. Not bad at all. So putting that back down, let's turn this slightly, there we go. Right, so if I pull that trigger, you can hear the humming mechanism, and then I press the trigger, and the bullets all come out. So I've got to find them, they're all on the floor. And you can see that the counter's gone down to 85. It said it's got movie accurate sound effects. I don't really like the sound effects, to be honest. It's, you know, they sound a bit muffled. I mean, I just don't know what it is. Right, so a few things I've actually got to do to this. I've got to get rid of that raised, I've got to sand that raised Nerf down. That Aliens there, that's got to come off, because that's all raised. I've got to do the same on the other side as well with the Nerf there. There isn't an Aliens on this side, so that's one thing I haven't got to do. I've also got to take the Hasbro branding off there. the Nerf Hasbro, and I've got to sand that off as well. All the warning logos, you know, like the CE, you know, the quality control, so that's got to come off. I've also looked at some videos online. You try and primer this as it is, really shiny, the primer won't grip. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get a fine grit sanding sandpaper and just take the shininess off it once I've took all, you know, the surgery. Right, so you press that button there to take the mag out. Mag's all grey, the bullets all go in there once I've found them, and that will go back in there and it'll say 99 again. Right, so I'm just going to pause this a sec, so I'm going to reload the bullets into the mag. Right, so crawling on my hands and knees, I've managed to recover 8 of the 10 bullets. So there's your bullets, and they just pop into there like that, and that's it. Now I've looked on online, and you can actually buy 3D printed bullets, just plastic ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find them bullets again, and then I'm going to email the seller, give him the measurements of these bullets, the foam ones. And what I'm going to do, I think there was in a pack of 4. So what I'll do is I'll put the 6 bullets in here, and then I'll put the 3D printed ones once they've been painted and load them in there. Obviously I will fire it, but when I take the mag out, it's going to look a hell of a lot better with bullets instead of foam bullets. So there's still 2 more bullets hanging around here somewhere. I've just been on my hands and knees and I can't bloody find them. Right, so press that back on again, and I'll reload the mag, and it'll read 99. One other thing, you can try and, won't fire with that, but if you fire it without the bullets, it goes click, 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 like it's on empty. But not bad. I mean, I'm really well chuffed that my son bought me this. I was shocked when he brought it to me a couple of days after my birthday. I was like 150 quid, and he said, "Dad, you're worth it." So with that being said, that's my little out of box review done. It's time to get cracking on with this bloody surgery. Right, I've started work on the pulse rifle. I'm just started the getting rid of the Nerf raised lettering. Now I couldn't get under with my knife. My standing knife. I couldn't get underneath there properly. I tried using my old cutters, and there's not enough there to do it. I've even tried using this little scraper, but the blade ain't sharp enough. I don't think it's designed like one of those scrapers that you can with a standy blade with a handle, where the standy blade would go in like that, the whole standy blade with a handle. So I've just got my needle file, and it took about, what, 2-3 minutes to do that, and the end's virtually gone. You can see the difference. So now I've got some finger wrenching work to do to get this lettering off. Right, after about 5 or 10 minutes of finger wrenching, rubbing and sanding with my needle file, the Nerf lettering, the raised Nerf lettering is gone. You can still see the Nerf logo because I've still got to finish that off with the sandpaper. But the raised part of it is gone. But with your needle file, every couple of minutes, just get your wire brush and just give that a good once over, because the plastic, all that, would have embedded itself into the grooves of the file, and if you don't clean it out, it won't sand properly. You'll be rubbing plastic against plastic, so just give that a quick sand and then just go at it again. But I'm quite chuffed that it only took a few minutes. But even though it has only took a couple of minutes, my bloody fingers are hurting. Right, I've now finished off with my sandpaper. I've used, I'm assuming that's 60 grit. So I've just got a bit of wood, got that on there, and just give that a bloody good rub down. And then after that, I've got my fine sanding paper, and then just finished it off. And it's looking really, really nice. Now that's done. I've got to do that aliens lettering now. So I'm thinking maybe going from that way with my needle file. Let's see what happens. Right, I've just been watching a YouTube video on how to remove this part, because I can't get in there with my needle file because this part of the body keeps getting in the way, and I'm doing it in an angle. I can't get it flat like I did with that one, because when I was doing it on this side I had all this room here, I had all that, but on that one I just can't get in there. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get my rounded bit on my dremel, and I'm going to have to cut that out with the dremel, grind it down, and then I'm going to have to go with my fingers and my sanding paper and do it that way. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to try this rounded bit for my Dremel to get rid of that aliens. Let's have a look. I do apologise for the noise. Yep, that's going down really well. That's coming off really nice. I don't want to hit it too much though, because I don't want to like cause a groove as I'm doing it, so I'm just going to just gently take it away. That's not good, that's not too bad though, so let's keep going. Just gently rubbing it. So there's still a bit left there, let's get more. Right, so that's that, switch that off. And then I'll get my little bit of sandpaper, that bit. And that's nice and smooth. So, yeah, that's not too bad, that, eh? So I haven't caused a channel, you know, I haven't gone into hard. And it's still quite smooth, so I'll just carry on with that, and I'll show you once it's finished. Right, I couldn't give you a good view as I was doing this because of my big fat fingers, so I'm going to do it this way. So like I said, you just need to gently grind it away. Again, I apologise for the noise. So you just get the tip and you just gently grind it away. Because you don't want to push too hard, because you don't want a groove of where it was. So just gently grind that away. And then every few seconds just rub with your finger so you feel it smooth, and then you just work your way down. So I'm about halfway at the moment. I'm on the E of aliens. You just want to gently grind it away, and every few seconds, that's perfect. And just do that, because you only want to take a lot, you just want to get down to the main fascia, and then the sandpaper will take care of the rest. So that's how you want to do it. Right, so after about 20 minutes grinding away with my Dremel, you can see I've grinded pretty much all of the lettering down to the main fascia. You can still see the outline of it, but again, that's where the sandpaper is going to take care of that. So I'll just get my little sanding stick. Might have to replace the paper on that, and I'll just do that then, like that. And then after 10 minutes maybe, I'll get them that lovely and smooth, because like I said, I couldn't do it with that handle because you got it hitting there like that. I just wouldn't been able to get it right flat. But I'm really well chuffed with that. It's come out really nice, not too bad. Right, I've now sanded the the Aliens lettering down now, that little bit left after I've got my Dremel. So I just got a bit of old bit of doweling, wrapped it in the sandpaper like that, and just add at it with that. Once I've got with the 60 grit paper, once I've done that, I then just got my little sanding stick. Where's that gone? Yeah, there it is. And then just smoothed that little last bit down. And the Aliens lettering is now gone. A little bit of a concern with this little pin here. I might have hit it a bit overboard. So what I might have to do is just get the scribe and just re-scribe around that a bit. Just give it a bit of depth. But I'm really well chuffed at how this has turned out. So again, use your Dremel on that Alien section, the lettering there. Right, I've now turned the Pulse Rifle over, and it's rinse and repeat. So I've done the same on the Nerf lettering on this side. Just done it with the needle file again, clean it out every few minutes with the steel brush, wire brush, to get the plastic out of the grooves. Once that was done, I then got my block sandpaper and then smoothed it down. Then in this area you add all that CE and the quality control and the Hasbro lettering there. So I couldn't get the file in there because it's slightly indentated. So what I did is I just got the old, where's that bit of, yeah, so I'll wrap this bit of doweling in sandpaper and just give that a bloody good sand. That took probably about 10-15 minutes because I couldn't use my needle file. It was slightly harder, so once I'd done all that, you know, got rid of all the dust and then got my fine sanding paper, wrapped it around the dowel and then did that. Same as that one. That one was a bit more difficult, so what I did is I got the needle file and scraped it off like that, just like at an angle, and then I finished that off with this sandpaper folded up and just sanded all that down. It's lovely and smooth. So that's all me lettering removed. Right, a bit more work on the Pulse Rifle. Now if you see on this side of the mag housing, you've got like this N1725, the hazard striping, and what looks like a number 10 or number 18. You've also got the number 2 as well. Those are going to have to be sanded off. Watching the YouTube video, a couple of YouTube videos, people have been primering that area, and that shows way through. It isn't raised, it's just painted, so the primer won't grip to it. So what I've done on the other side, turning this round, I've still got to sand off the number 2, but this side I've got rid of all that. So I've just used 60 grit sandpaper on my little wooden block, and then finishing it off with my fine sanding paper. I've just sanded all that off. I mean, it looks a bit pants at the moment. You can see how dull it is compared to the new plastic, the shiny plastic. But once the primer goes on that, it's going to look a hell of a lot better. So that's something you might have to do as well. Right, welcome back. Finishing off this side now. As you know, I've already done that mag casing with that sanding. I sanded off the number 2 area there, and then turning the rifle over, I've now done the same on this side. Sanded off the mag casing with all that markings and sanded off the number 2. It looks a bit pants at the moment, you know, with all the scratch marks and the sandpaper. So I just got my normal sandpaper and then finished it off with this fine sandpaper. So now that's done, I've now got to get the surface ready by sanding, just giving the rest of the rifle a nice sand, especially around here. Might have to roughen that up as well. and then just take the sheen off the rifle itself just to get it ready for primer.